Hey there, I'm Kevin, and this is Kevin's Twisted Tales. Get ready for mysterious stories that'll send shivers down your spine. Hit subscribe and let's dive in.
Kevin's Twisted Tales. Prepare to be captivated, if you dare.
Lena had always been a fan of dancing and nightlife. On a chilly Saturday evening, she decided to check out a club she had never been to before. Neon signs flickered above the entrance of the Abyss, casting an eerie glow on the shadowy figures lurking outside. As Lena entered, the pounding music enveloped her, and the dimly lit club seemed to swallow her whole. Bodies writhed on the dance floor, lost in the hypnotic rhythm, and colorful lasers pierced the smoky air. Lena made her way to the bar, ordering a drink to steady her nerves. The night was young, and she intended to enjoy it. But as she glanced around, her eyes locked onto a figure unlike the others. He stood alone in a corner, shrouded in darkness, his gaze fixed on her. She couldn't see his face clearly, only the glint of eyes that seemed to gleam with menace. An unsettling feeling washed over her, and she quickly looked away. But each time she glanced in his direction, he was still there, his eyes never leaving her. Unease turned into fear as Lena realized he was slowly making his way toward her. She tried to blend in with the crowd, but his approach was relentless. His presence felt like a sinister shadow closing in. Finally, he stood beside her at the bar. His voice was a low, chilling whisper. "You look like you could use some company." Lena forced a polite smile. "No, thank you, I'm fine." But the man's response was a sinister grin that sent shivers down her spine. "I insist," he said, his voice dripping with menace. Lena's heart pounded as she weighed her options. She didn't want to cause a scene, but this man's presence felt dangerous. Desperate, she pretended to receive a call on her phone. "Oh, sorry, I have to take this," she stammered, turning away from the man. As Lena moved toward the exit, her mind raced. She needed help, someone she could trust. She spotted a group of friends she had met earlier on the dance floor. She quickly approached them, explaining her predicament. Her newfound friends were sympathetic and offered to help. They formed a protective barrier around Lena, shielding her from the menacing man's advances. But he persisted, circling like a predator, refusing to give up. The situation grew increasingly tense, and Lena realized she needed to involve the club's security. With the support of her friends, she discreetly approached a bouncer and explained the unsettling encounter. The bouncer immediately took action, confronting the menacing man. A heated exchange ensued, but the bouncer's imposing presence eventually convinced him to leave. Relieved, Lena thanked her friends and the bouncer for their help. She had narrowly escaped a potentially dangerous situation. As Lena continued to dance and enjoy the night, she couldn't shake off the fear that had gripped her. She realized that sometimes instincts and quick thinking were her best allies. She had learned a valuable lesson about trusting her gut and seeking help when needed. When the night finally came to an end, Lena left the club, grateful for her friends and the vigilant bouncer who had come to her aid. She knew that while the Abyss had been a place of fear and uncertainty that night, it had also been a reminder of the importance of staying safe and looking out for one another in the shadows of the night.